ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
We're here on the Roundtable and we have a very special edition. You know, Horseman in North Bergen, this is our first ever drama class of the entire year. And you know we had to bring something special and a special guest. And we know Tyler Perry, and we know documentaries, and we love film. And we like women filmmakers who are out here defying the odds and telling all of these students and all the artists out there that they can do absolutely anything. So welcome to the show. You're here.
Hello, what a beautiful introduction. Thank you. I love everything you said. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm sorry. As we're live. So when you're here and I'm looking at the face of my 25 theater students and here that are here in this school.
Oh, I love this.
They all come from different places. They all have different experiences. And you come from beginnings and you had a long road to get to where you are. Tell us, how did you become a filmmaker? When did you want to be a filmmaker?
I didn't say it out loud until about maybe 12 years ago. You know, I didn't see anyone who looked like me or anyone I knew personally making films. So I didn't think it was possible for me. And also, I think when you come from sort of like an immigrant background, the dream for you is to have a safe type of job, and being an artist is definitely not one of them. You're muted.
Can you tell us about the first time you made a film?
Yes, well, I worked on many people's projects for free. I've done, from gaffer to being someone who holds the light or the mics. I did a lot of different production jobs and also learning from all these filmmakers. So my first film I made in 2011, and it was in a rural part of Ethiopia, and it was really nerve-wracking, but also it felt really amazing to actually do what I dreamt of for many years.
Absolutely. Now, how many of you here have parents who have come here from another country, your first generation here in this country? Oh, about all of us. We are a 93% economically disadvantaged community. We all have we all come from all Central South America, and we're here trying to make ourselves better and our families better. When you came from where?
Ethiopia. I'm originally from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. And your journey to the United States, what was your goal originally? Was it just to be a filmmaker?
No, I came as a student. My family moved from Ethiopia to Europe, and then from Europe to the US. And it was for school. I moved here to be a student. I was pre-med, and I was going to be a dentist. So I thought. And I got scouted by a photographer to be a model on campus, and that's how it started.
Your way into art was by modeling first. So you're a true multi-hyphenate, meaning you have more than one skill. You can model and then you get behind the camera. When you told your family, was everyone always supportive? Did you have people that doubted you? Did you have to face adversity from people who told you couldn't do it?
Yeah, I think my family didn't understand because there are no artists in my family. I'm sort of the first to practice it, not to dream of it, I'm sure. But yeah, I didn't tell my family until 6 months in the modeling. I left school. But it was also sort of my journey into filmmaking, because I got to work with the best photographers, best lighters, and that was my film school.
It's amazing. So you have done documentaries. Before we talk about this new documentary, you've done documentaries on the importance of education. You've done documentaries on back home in Ethiopia. You have done documentaries on also gender inequalities, which we're with such a prevalent topic. How important is your activism and your stance and voice about these tied to the artists? Why does an artist or a filmmaker, what's the importance of having a point of view and using your art to tell a story that matters?
Yeah. I think art reaches farther than anything that I know. I think when you make something, whether it's music or you write a book or you paint or you make a film, it's out of your hand and into the universe, and that's sort of, I learned about other people and what's possible for me through film. Film really saved me. Outside of my circumstances, where else do I look to dream? And for me, when you say activism, I don't know if I call it activism. It's sort of, there is a lot of injustice in so much part of the world that's not visible to us in this country often. And I know my country suffers from, whether it's war, displacement, climate change, all of that ties into the gap of so many young girls don't get to go to school. That's a basic human right of attending school. So for me to make a film about that is sort of, like you said, sharing my truth, sharing what I know, and connecting that back home sort of story to this part of the world. And how do we bridge the gap? I like to sort of, I always often try to make sure there's a space for polarity, for us to have conversation from two opposing sides, and that's how we learn. So I don't really believe in, I'm not that harsh, loud type of activism as most people know it. I like to create space for us to have a conversation, and I think film for me is that medium.
Well, we were just talking before you came on about why art is important and what art does for us, right? And we were talking about art is entertaining and art is fun and art tells a story, but a lot of times there's an important theme through our art and through our work. You have a brand new documentary that is coming out on something that we all have access to. We all can jump on Amazon Prime and we could check it out. It's called, and as we get here, Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story. And no matter where you're from, no matter how old you are, we have all heard of Medea. We have all seen the movies. We all know about his money and his studio. So how did you become a part of this project? And you worked on this for 10 years?
For 10 years, correct. Yeah. I mean, I had the privilege of having that front row seat of witnessing this man become busier than ever. He acquired Fort McPherson Army Base, and he was turning it into a major motion picture studio. He was on tour as well as writing, producing, directing, TV and film. So how do you explain to anyone how busy this man is? And I also know that there's a huge chunk of history missing from the African American perspective. I'm not American by birth, but I love this country and what it's made possible for me. But when as I'm learning and researching, the contribution of great diverse stories is missing. And I didn't want the world to miss what this man is doing, especially someone who came from nothing and made so much of himself and made it possible for so many others to come after him and dream. And that was for the purpose. And it really started as a joke of, I'm going to document you and just continue. And then I didn't realize it could be a documentary until years into it.
So, if you know anything about Tyler Perry's story, he has rough beginnings, overcame much adversity, many people telling him no, starting out doing plays literally out of a van, like with nothing, and built this business. What is the message or lesson after these 10 years now that the film is edited and about to be shown in the world? You've already been shown in film festivals and given rave reviews. What is the lesson that is to be made of his story for all of us?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the main reason is to inspire others. There are a lot of people who come from circumstances that doesn't allow them to dream. He came not only from poverty only, but from trauma, severe childhood trauma. So how do you survive? How do you thrive, after experiencing all of that darkness? I think often in storybooks or the superhero movies we see, the superhero is the one who saves people from burning buildings, or the guy or the girl who slays a dragon. But for me, superheroes are people who, despite what they experience in this world, wake up every day loving the world and respecting the world And that for me is a superhero, you know. And I hope people find this film inspiring. I hope they see themselves in it. You know, yes, it's about a man who's done so much and acquired so much, and this, he's a mogul and all of that we can say, all the big stuff. But the film is really about his heart. And you know, I don't want to give too much away from the film, but the core of who he is his mother, you
Yes.
know. And I think that the film is really about love and meditation on healing.
And that's something we all need and can relate to. It's universal. When you are working with him as he is a filmmaker, he is an actor, he's a writer.
Yes.
Did he have creative suggestions? Did you have free creative control? How did this go? And were you nervous when he saw it for the final cut?
I was so nervous. How do you paint a painter? You know, how do you film as a filmmaker? That's nerve-wracking. But you know, again, he respected the fact that I had a vision, and it also inspired me to produce this film. You know, now I'm not only, you know, doing the creative, but my company Bekele Films produced this film, and to see it in partnership with Amazon, a girl from Ethiopia, I never imagined this would be possible, right? But he was too busy for us to be involved in anything. He, of course, we had his blessing in filming. We wanted to make sure we were not on the way of him because he moves so fast and so much is going on. So like to be a fly on the wall and just like single camera follow him. And he saw it at the end before he went to distribution. And that was the most nervous I have ever been in my entire life.
And what was the reaction? What did he say when it was over?
He was emotional. You know, Armani and I were hiding in the back of the theater as he's watching, and he was so emotional. Also, it was the first time he's seen his mother and heard her voice after her passing, you know, in 2009. So that's very emotional, and I'm sure very surreal experience for him to see his life played out on a big screen.
You know what? Not knowing Mr. Perry at all, but my friends like Brandon Black, like Quay Tan, who have done the Medea movies with him, that have done House of Pain, they have come on this show and talked about how generous and kind and down to earth. Here's my cell phone number. Reach out if you need me. Those stories are real. Those stories are the who he is as a human, and you got to depict that, and we all get to see that, and hopefully be inspired due to your work and 10 years of patience.
Yes, it needed to take 10 years. I think, again, when we're talking about success, often we glorify the end result, but especially young people don't get to see that gray area of when someone's like working it out, trying to figure out the best way to sort of make your vision come true. That moment is important. You know, we don't just go, he was here and then he ended up here. That middle part is very important.
Yes, it's not just the end result, it's the whole journey, every step of the journey. Well, I know there's 25 kids here who are going to be following you right after this on Instagram, which is right here.
Oh my gosh.
We'll follow you on social medias and all of it that you are. And what is next? This film is done. It's out. Do you have projects and tricks up your sleeve?
Yes, I have. There's two projects. It's still in alpha stages, but you know, you never stop dreaming. Again, one project leads you to another project, and what a blessing it is to actually live out my dream. You
Yeah,
know.
it is. It's amazing, and you're inspiring me and all of us here today. We're going to follow you. We all are going to watch the movie. This it's a great thing to watch this weekend or on a Friday night. It's out. It's out and about on Amazon. Go to Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story. And then, do you have any last words of wisdom? Any advice if you're 10, 11, 12, 13 years old and
Gosh.
you love TV or film, or you love theater or singing, that you can maybe give some a word of guidance or inspiration?
Yes, I think follow that voice that's in your heart. You know, there was so much no as I was growing up. And I hope that they are able to dream. I hope you dream based on what's in your heart, not based on fear or what anyone tells you. And at that age, everything feels so big and scary, but really know that you will grow into it and life is on your side. Really, I believe that.
Oh, that is so. What do we say, everybody? Can we give a big hey and thanks?
I want to visit them. Can I come and visit you guys one
Oh,
day?
please come say hi and visit us. We they see you projected right now on the screen, so they are very excited to be a part of this and to be able to talk to you. We'll be following and we'll be watching and we'll be looking forward to everything that you do. And whenever you're in New York, New Jersey, you have
Yes.
an open invite to come hang out with us anytime.
Thank you. And thank you, because I wish there was someone like you when I was their age to say, I see you. I want you to dream. So thank you.
Oh no, it's people like you that inspire me and us to keep going out here in this world and to give the world art. And I thank you so much because what you do is so noble and affects millions of people. So thank you for putting out the work and doing the work for us all.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day. That was heartwarming.